Hi guys, hope you're doing well today. It's Fred and Sheila with Hatfield, McCoy Museum Adventures and Fred and Sheila Investigates.
Hey guys, thanks for joining us. We started to back off the Summer Wells case. There's so much controversy, so much. I don't know. I think that's why we never started on the Summer Wells case in the first place. It's because there was so much controversy and all that.
Yeah.
We're not quitters. Phil and I are a lot of things. Quitters aren't one of them.
Mm-mm.
We just got off the phone with a police department here in the United States. A lady had called us yesterday, and that's what we're hoping for. That's what we, again, like I told the officer, or we did, maybe nothing to it. There's been many times where people has checked things out and nothing to it, and then other times where you thought it would be nothing and turns out to be it.
Yeah.
Lady had contacted us about something suspicious. I won't go into it yet because this video, I want to give them time to check it out before we post this video. So this video won't be posted for another day or two.
Right.
But should be on videotape hopefully and so forth. She thinks that she may have spotted Summer Wells. Now, we had a call like that years ago on Sebastian.
Mm-hmm.
And we called
Chris.
Chris, thank you.
Sorry.
Chris
Proudfoot.
Proudfoot.
That's why I didn't know their name. Sorry, guys.
You got it. We got it now, guys.
We're on the right track.
We get it. We're getting old. But where age comes in is sometimes knowledge and experience, and but it's bad on forgetfulness and memory. It's what we're counting on you guys for. It ain't about us. It's about you all and the good Lord. And we had called Chris Proudfoot years ago about somebody had cited that what they thought was Sebastian in Alabama. Mm-hmm. And I mean, they were sure. They sent us pictures, and Sheila and I looked at it, and we were convinced that it was Sebastian. Then when we sent the pictures to Chris, is that his name?
Chris
Proudfoot? That don't ring a bell. I don't sound right.
Chris Proudfoot and Katie.
He said no, he could tell right off that it wasn't. Did resemble, but it wasn't. Mm-hmm. And that may be the same case here. Wouldn't it be something if it was that easy that we put a video out and one of our subscribers that watches our channel sees a video on Summer Wells? The surprising thing about this is Sheila and I thought everybody in the country. Well, you would have thought, just like when we called about Sebastian, the people at the grocery store where this little boy worked, they'd never heard of Sebastian Rogers. Mm-mm. The dispatch we talked to just now, they'd never heard of
Summer Wells. Summer Wells.
Summer Wells. Yeah. The officer we just talked to had never heard of Summer Wells. That's surprising us because we told him, we thought everybody, and he Googled it while we were on the phone. Summer, Moon, Utah, Wells, and we said, yeah. Mm-hmm. So he's going to be checking that out. Guys, let us, thank you for having faith in Fred and Sheila, but
thank you.
It's not about us. First of all, it's about God. Second of all, don't call us. We don't care. We don't have to even be a part of anything. I think that's what's hindered a lot of these cases, that police officers and police chiefs and sheriffs and police commissioners, and I think that's what happened. Everybody wants that. They want to be the person that finds that person, and in doing so, they restrict the searches and so forth, and in doing so, they may lose evidence or... So don't call us. Go ahead, babe.
And if possible, try to take a picture to have on hand, so when you do call the police, they can ask you if you've got a picture of it or something. Can you ID them? And,
this lady had a lot of information, but she was afraid of the circumstances to try to take a picture and be spotted, or somebody, maybe it's not Summer, and somebody would be wondering why she's taking a picture.
Exactly.
But with what she told us, it doesn't add up. That doesn't mean it's not possible. Just because something doesn't, and that's what we're going to talk about today. You might want to stay with us on this video because this video is going to be interesting. But if you have any information, if you see anything that's suspicious or you spot who you think is somewhere over the years, call 911, guys.
Yes,
Don't
please.
call Fred and Sheila. We thank you and appreciate it. But you don't have to call us. You call 911 and get some police there and let them check it out. If it's nothing, so what? If they're any kind of police officer like they should be, you remember the old days, protecting and serving? I got you. But if they're any kind of police officers like we were back in the old days, they don't mind a bit. Mm-mm. They come out, it's not her, there's nothing to it. Thanks for calling, thanks for taking an interest, and be on our way. Mm-hmm. Nobody should ever get mad at anybody for, I bet you they'd run through a flaming fire if they find out it's her and they didn't investigate it, and all of a sudden you find the body or find her. Oh, here they'll come running. They want that glory then. And we know all about it, and I got you. Guys, I'm going to read you one paragraph here because on this video here, we started to do a live.
Yeah.
This video was going to be a live where you all could join in and we could chat and talk. I'm not somebody you do a live with. I have no filter, and if I think it, I say it. Yeah. And when you're live, that's probably not good. Now, Sheila and I tell everybody, when we start doing YouTube, we sold everything we had and put everything else in the family's names and so forth like that. We have nothing that's ours. We got a 2011 bus, but we have nothing. We don't have a pot to pee in or a window to throw it out. We're an LLC. Yeah. We tried to protect ourselves because we knew some of the videos that we were going to do, especially on the Hatfields and McCoys, were going to be controversial. And we knew that some of the Hatfields and McCoys, or at least the McCoys, had filed civil suits before. They had filed suits against other people that proved out to be frivolous, but they filed suits. So we knew that if you file one suit, you probably file another. So we figured, hey, let's get rid of everything we got, and that way we don't have to be afraid of what we say. Sheila and I still try to be real careful.
We do.
We don't.
We do.
We don't want to be slanderous. We don't want to defame nobody. But we want to be free from the First Amendment to speak and talk and freely. Now I'm going to read you this first. This is on our disclaimer. You can fast forward through it if you want, but it's just a half paragraph. Okay. Disclaimer / opinion. Like we like to say in nearly every video, if we have stated anything incorrectly, please contact us with proof and we will gladly correct it. How much more fair could you be? If we say anything that's incorrect or wrong or frivolous, please tell us with proof and we'll correct it. Sheila and I do not want to intentionally disseminate any untrue or incorrect information. We don't want to. Doesn't mean we might by accident or through
not on purpose,
stupidity or something, but we try not to. It won't be intentional.
Right.
Thank you, babe. It won't be intentional. It won't be malicious. It won't be with malice. It will be by accident, mistake. We want the truth and the correct information in our videos. You will not embarrass us, hurt our feelings, or make us mad. We welcome corrections. We acknowledge the information in our videos is for entertainment purposes or historical purposes when it comes to Hatfield McCoy videos that we do. Mm-hmm. We acknowledge the information in our videos is for entertainment purposes. Some of the information may be speculative, theorizing, or even our opinions. Our videos, comments, etc. are not intended to target or criticize or offend, harm any individual or organization in any manner.
Exactly.
While we strive for accuracy, if you find anything incorrect, please notify us so we can make necessary corrections. Guys, that's I don't know how much more fair we can be. Now, some of you are still going to misinterpret that. Some of you are going to think, oh, they're attacking this person. Oh, they're throwing that at that person. Guys, you're allowed to have your own opinion also. You can think whatever you want to think about anything we say. We just got through saying we don't want to Some of this is our opinion. Some of this is our thoughts. A 40-year career in law enforcement, 29 years in education. In my 40-year career, and if you followed our videos before, some of you have heard these. But if you've not, because we have a lot of new subscribers and viewers lately, 4 of my rules or philosophies while I was a police officer. Listen to these. I've had these since I was a young man. A person's past often predicts their future. Guys, look at people's past. You've seen people's past that improved, but if a person has a past of bad things, sometimes they continue throughout life. If a person's been in the big house, it carries on. These are some tough people and so forth. But if a person has a past of thieving and you just had a burglary 2 doors down, would that be a good suspect maybe just to go talk to? Maybe. Totally innocent. But would it hurt to go talk to that person with him already or her having a past of that? As a police officer, I would think it would. A person's past often predicts their future. If you want to know a person's character, just look at their friends. If you want to know a person's character, look at their friends. If you think you're going to see a drug dealer out here running around with Billy Graham, you're wrong. You're not going to see that. And you're not going to see Billy Graham out here hanging out and running around on a Saturday night with a drug dealer. So if you want to know a person's character, look at who they hang out with. Look at their friends. If they hang out with thieves, abusers, things like that, that may be a clue. Where 2 or more people are involved, one will talk.
For sure.
I heard that when I was a rookie in law enforcement. A smart old man told me that. The smartest man, probably the smartest man I ever knew in my life, told me that. Where 2 or more are involved, one will talk. And I have used that many, many times in law enforcement. We're going to get to that here in a minute. We're going to be discussing that some today in this video. Where 2 or more are involved, one will talk. I'd rather let my last one, it ain't my last one. I had many over the years, but the last one that pertains to this case maybe would be, I'd rather let a guilty person go is to ever charge an innocent person. How dirty that must be. How terrible it must be to point that finger and accuse somebody as doing something illegal or wrong, and them be totally innocent. That's why, Sheila, when we left the property the other day of Candace and Don, we said we're not accusing these people. We don't have no evidence.
Right.
We don't have no proof. And Sheila's always said she likes
Truth with proof.
Truth with proof. If you've got proof, it's not hard to prove the truth. You just need the proof. We don't like to accuse people or anything like that. Now, some of you may watch this video today and think, oh, they're accusing this one or that one. No, we're not. Just because this child was the daughter of Don and Candace, and we're talking about a missing child, and now listen, if the shoe fits, strap that puppy on and wear it. If the shoe fits and you think this pertains to this person or that person, then so be it. That's just the way it is. We can't change the evidence or the proof or direction that we go with things. Now, when we left that hill that day, we didn't just forget about this case. Some people said, oh, that was just for the video. That was for clicks. I don't know how much we can emphasize that we don't care about the clicks. We do this as a hobby, and there's nothing better than putting that sweet little thing there. Look at that. Imagine that being your child. Imagine that being anybody's child. Where is she? Where is she today? Has she been abused? Is she been abused today, day after day after day? Can we still save her? Can we still save her? Who knows? Only God knows.
The Lord holds.
She's
things
either
right.
savable or she's with God. If he points people in the right direction and she's still alive, we can save her. She's redeemable. She's got a life ahead of her. She's 10 years old right now. 10 years old, a whole life ahead of her. I'd rather let a guilty person go as to ever charge or accuse an innocent person. And that's Sheila and I's philosophy.
Exactly.
I had that in law enforcement. I always figured if I couldn't prove the case, don't get an indictment, don't get a conviction, don't put them in prison on a chance that they were guilty. If you can't prove it, wait for another day. Something will turn up, God will send more evidence, or they will commit another crime and you'll get them then.
Mm-hmm.
But don't ever put an innocent person in prison or accuse them. Had many cases such as my other slogan was, or motto was, once the cuffs go on, hands come off. Got nothing to do with this case, but cuffs on, hands off. When you handcuff a person behind their back, no more. It's over. I don't care if they's fighting like a banshee. Once you get them handcuffed, there's no punishment. You're not there to issue punishment. You're there to transport them to the jail and for the judge and the jury and the prosecutor to issue the punishment for whatever they did.
To effect an arrest.
You use whatever force is necessary to effect the arrest. That the law gives us the right for that. But once you effect that arrest, you don't have to beat the person. You don't have to, just because you've been in a 10-mile pursuit, driving like a maniac, which cops love. I never did understand why cops wanted to beat the person up after they got them, other than they're just mean people. Because cops love pursuits. They love it. Don't let them kid you. Nothing more exciting. Kids that play video games, oh, you should do it for real. Do it in real life. Only thing is, when you're doing it in real life, some people don't think, and coming through that next intersection they're going through may be your son or daughter or somebody else's son. Usually the suspect never gets hurt in these wrecks. Sometimes. Guys, I get off topic.
That's all right.
That's just another one of mine. I've got many over 40 years, but okay, guys, in this video, we're still not accusing anyone.
No. Definitely not accusing anybody, so please don't take it that way.
We are still not accusing anybody. Now, we didn't stop searching. We didn't stop researching. Sheila and I do our research a different way. We look for harder research. We go the extra mile, especially Sheila. Sheila does a lot of the research. But now it's time to take a closer look at what evidence or clues are out there. We're going to show you some videos, video clips. We're going to talk about some things. Doesn't mean we're accusing anybody. It means that we're looking at evidence, tangible, physical, visible evidence that you can see and hear. And let's see what we all make of it together. Let's see if it proves out that it could be a clue as to what happened to Summer. Or is it just circumstantial? You know, we're going to talk about having a body and a witness. You have to have a body or at least a witness if you're going to prove homicide and charge and convict. You can do it on circumstantial, but you're going to have such overwhelming circumstantial evidence, and most prosecutors are not going to take that chance. But we're going to get double jeopardy and things like that after a while. But we are here for Summer. We're not here for anyone else.
Yeah.
And that's us.
That's the main goal.
We want to respect the parents, Candace and Don. We respect them. As of right now, they are victims also. They are parents. When we were visiting Don and Candace, we were wanting others to be able to see if there was any inconsistencies in their story. We went and seen Don and Candace to see if what they had told 5 years ago, 4 years ago, 3 years ago, 2 years ago, last year or last month, if there's anything that
has changed.
Somebody said, he can't answer the question, you keep interrupting him. I'm sorry. Everybody's got their own technique when interviewing or interrogating somebody. We're going to get to that in a minute, but it's called redirecting. Don't worry. Other people can redirect the investigator as well as the investigator can redirect them. Every time Don went to something that I felt he'd already talked about, and I do the same myself. I talk about things. People even comment and say, you say the same thing over and over. Well, if you say something 3 times to somebody,
They'll remember.
they'll remember. That's the old adage. If you tell somebody something 3 times, they'll never forget that because they've been told 3 times. So there's a purpose for that, but sometimes I'm just a hold and repeat, maybe, I don't know. But Don would go back to what I would call as an investigator a comfortable setting, a comfortable story. I'm not putting Don down. I'm not saying he's not even telling the truth or believes what he's saying. We had already heard that and heard it about CPS, Mexican Mafia, Cornbread Mafia. We'd already heard it. So when I would go back, I wanted them to go back to the main beginning because the main beginning is what a lot of times people forget. They told that story in the main beginning, but over the years, that's irrelevant. Let's talk about what happened here or there or where you was at or what you said on this video or what you said on this radio interview or who you called and bawled out. And that's what they want to talk about. Not Sheila and I. Sheila and I go to the beginning. Let's start from the beginning. I would start from the beginning. He would answer that question, but instead of elaborating and keeping it going, telling us what happened, he would go back to CPS or something else. I'm not trying to be derogatory towards Don. I'm telling you the facts. You all have the 3-part series there. You can watch it for yourselves and tell. What we were doing that for is to let the investigators, guys, there's no doubt there's some good investigators on this case. There's no doubt there's some good police officers out there. There's good. They're investigating it. Am I going to agree with everything they did in this case? Are they going to agree with everything I put in these videos? No, nobody agrees on hardly anything, especially anymore, especially in the criminal justice investigation, especially as police officers. Again, sometimes experience are cases that you worked over the years. There may be something that you can use.
Right. Not everybody does everything the same way.
That's right, baby.
So everybody's different.
Guys, we're going to take our time on this video. We're not going to get in a hurry because I do talk fast. And again, this was going to be a live where we could just sit and talk.
We don't have any luck with live. Something always messes up.
She's talking about me, guys.
Well,
she's talking about
technical difficulties.
She's talking about picking my leg off, trying to get me to, when I get on something, but we were wanting others to be able to look for inconsistencies in Don and Candace's stories. Guys, remember one thing, if you would. While we're not accusing anybody, we're not pointing that finger at anybody, we're not casting that stone.
Exactly.
We're here to tell you that the TBI and the Hawkins Sheriff's Department says that nobody has been ruled out. Nobody has been ruled out. That means Don and Candace, the parents, no matter how loving, no matter how sweet, no matter how convinced we are that they're innocent, doesn't mean they're innocent. It just means that that's what our view or your view or somebody else's view may be. And they are innocent. They are innocent until they are proven guilty. Even if they did it, they're innocent until they're proven guilty or they come forward and admit to what happened.
Exactly.
When there's a child missing, it's all about that child. I heard somebody say, well, you said this or you said that. Guys, I'm liable to say anything if it helps Sheila and I find a missing child. I don't care about people's feelings. I have no filter. It's all about that child.
Yep.
The first people you look at are the parents. We all know that.
Always.
We're not telling people.
No. Immediate family, whoever's in that family circle with this child, believe me, they've did some research on them or looked at them. So
this video is going to get interesting if you'll hang with us. I think you may start out slow, but in a minute we're going to bring up some comments and questions, and videos. We are not PIs. We're not private investigators. We're not police officers.
By no means.
I was a police officer for 40 years. And in just about every case I've ever worked, I've discussed it with her, and we've gone over it and all this and that. She might as well have been on the payroll.
Well, when somebody else looks at the case, they see it through different eyes, and they might see something that somebody else has overlooked or has missed, and so it doesn't hurt to have different people looking at it.
Sheila and I are just trying to do our little part in finding out what happened
Precious baby.
to that precious baby. We cut out where Don told us Candace had been drinking.
Yeah.
It's no secret. In a lot of the comments, people had already noticed it.
Yeah.
They knew, and that's one reason. Only thing you can do by arguing with somebody like that is make things worse. There was no need in arguing with Candace when she was, for lack of a better word, on a rant. Guys, we're on Candace and Don's property.
Exactly.
Dawn invited us in, which she did too in the beginning. She went and got us pop. She was so sweet at times, and then she got a phone call or made a phone call. We've done a video on that, and then I think she became suspected and not trusting, and I don't blame them for not trusting everybody. They've got a short end of the stick sometimes, especially if they turn out to be innocent. Especially down the road, somebody admits to, or somebody's charged with something.
Yeah.
How's all those people going to feel that's falsely accused these two? Is there still concern? Could they be involved? Sure. TBI says they could be.
Yeah.
They said nobody's been ruled out.
Yeah.
I'm going to take the TBI and the sheriff's office at their word. Nobody's been ruled out. That means they're suspects. It's their home. They can do as they please. If she wants to drink all day, that's her business. Who am I? I'm not condemning her for drinking. That's her business. They invited us in. But that may explain some of the mood changes that we inherited or
Encountered.
Thank you, babe. Yeah, that's a better word. Just because she's drinking doesn't make her guilty of anything, doesn't make her involved with Summer's disappearance. See, it's sad that we have to discuss comments like that, but between comments and people's thoughts, they think, oh, that's a good comment. I'll comment on this. I'll comment on, you was on her property. That don't make her guilty. So we're trying to cover your comments before you put them in there. We know that. We're almost 70 years old, or I am. I'll speak for myself. Sheila's only 26, and I can understand she don't
Not really, but I'll take it.
Why mention that? And I say here in my notes, because some people will ask.
Yeah.
We like to put as much information out there as we can, the good, the bad, and the ugly. We do that. We do that on Hatfield McCoy history. We do that on everything. We don't care, good, the bad, the ugly. Tell it. Let the chips fall where they may. And then you come up with truth with proof.
Yeah.
Just a side comment here. Somebody was asking about cuts in the video and so forth. It was words, bad words and so forth. And it was also words that YouTube don't like.
Yes.
Like S-side. Somebody was committing S-side. And we had to try to cut that out because Don told a couple of stories where that come up.
Yeah, I'm not very good at doing that. I was trying to.
Guys, this video is going to be all over the place. Because I see a comment here and it says, why limited search? Why limited searches? Now, we're going to come back to Don and Candace and different things like that here in a minute, but we're all over the place, but that's okay. It's us. It's our video. It's what we do.
We're all over the place.
Why limited searches?
All the searches going on coordinated by Catherine here. It's a They're very hard. The volunteers are great, and we really don't need the general public. As the captain said, we got trained professionals in the woods. We know exactly where they are, how they're doing. They check on routinely. We know how many's out there, who's out there, and we know when they come back. If the general public helps, then we will not know they're out there and we could lose somebody else.
It's not just there. It's not just the TBI, the Hawkins Sheriff's Office. It's not. Why limited searches? Well, their excuse was, and we're going to play a video in a minute, but their excuse was that we don't want to have inexperienced people out in the woods. They might get lost, and then we end up looking for them. Okay. They're adults, ain't they? You're not going to let little 5-year-olds go out in the woods looking for a 5-year-old. It's going to be adults. Go to the nearest creek. Go follow that creek out. It's going to lead to somewhere. Follow the road out. It's going to lead somewhere. Come down off the hill. And like Sheila said the other day.
About the air tag?
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe give them something like that, some kind of tracker thing and then you log it in as who's got this number or whatever.
Get you a bunch of air tags.
That way you can follow them around.
Give people air tags stick in their pocket. You know you've still got somebody out there. Better yet, look at where you're at. Tennessee, Kentucky, West Virginia, Appalachian people, mountain people, frontier people, frontiersmen. You got to look where you're at. Do I really worry about somebody in Rogersville or Kingsport or Johnson City or Bristol getting lost in the woods? You don't worry about that. That's nonsense. That's not a good excuse. That's not a valid excuse to me. I don't care if there was 1,000 people showed up to search. Put 1,000 people in them woods. Organize it the best you can.
The more the better, really.
The more the better.
You're more apt.
Guys, there's a reason for this. I'm going to tell you my opinion. I have an opinion about everything. My opinion is that law enforcement don't want to be outdone. TBI wants to find that child. That's great. Sheriff's Office wants to find that child. That's great. The neighbor wants to find that child. That's great. The YouTubers want to find that child. That's great. Does it matter who actually finds the child as long as she's found? It does to some people. It does to some people. Because if it didn't, and you say, well, we want to have certified searchers. We want to have certified personnel. So, okay, take your certified personnel and search that hill. Okay, we're done. I seen on there where they said, okay, we've moved out from the Baptist church. We're done. We've moved the emergency services command center. We've moved it. We're done. If you're done, then say, go search, guys. Have at it. Professionals have searched. You guys go search now. Open the woods up. Go search. Well, you can't hardly do that. What if they go search and you've missed something and somebody else finds it? Oh, how bad that would look. We would find the little girl. We would know where she's at today. We would know that for a fact instead of wondering, did they search good? Because I won't tell our plan, but there's people that saw people searching, 4 and 5 officers together in a line coming down a path.
Right.
Not spread out on a grid search, not up on the side of 2 hills in a valley, in a hollow, together coming down a path. Is that a search? Is that a search for a 5-year-old or a body or clothing or shoes? Or Sheila and I, number 4 video I think we did on Joseph Couch. Sheila and I gets down, that's where we got them turkey mites all over us. Here's an area that hadn't been searched. Now you can see that there's no path. Nobody has been through there. And we're on video live. And she says, what are we going to do? We said, we're going through there. We have to. Nobody has searched. He could be in there laying up underneath that underbrush. Because see, just one person going through wouldn't disturb nothing, especially if he was careful. But if you had 10 or 12 people searching, everybody's traveling the same path, you're going to have a path. And we went through there and searched under every rock and cranny, wasn't there. We was eat up for 3 months with turkey mites.
Yeah, we looked like we had chicken pox.
I'm starting to itch right now just
thinking about it.
Sheila was looking at something a while ago, and I said, oh, God, we're going to get turkey mites. So we're probably going to end up with them again before we're through with this Summer Wells case. Guys, there would be nothing left of Summer Wells right now except bones. Probably not even a shred of clothing. You may get, and the animals, if she was up there, the animals has drug here, there, left, and right. Skull or a femur bone probably is all you're going to find. I know I'm graphic. Mm-hmm. It's a graphic. This is reality. This child's either with Jesus or somebody's got her, and we got to get her back before if she's been mistreated. Wouldn't it be grand? It's already happened. It's over with. It'd be grand if she was with somebody and she was being treated better than she even was with Don and Candace. That's great. Did somebody just want a baby? Did somebody just for a child of their own? And the husband says, "Hey, there's a baby for my wife or my grandma or my mother that's been wanting a child. Mm-hmm. I'm going to take her away from this life.
We can give her something better.
She deserves better. Yeah. This child deserves better than what she's got here and the way her parents are." I don't think it's a sin, or I don't think it's accusatory to say that Don and Candace would not have won Parent of the Year award while they were parents. If our research is correct, and it could be wrong, and if it is, please correct us. If our research is correct, between the two of them, they have 9 children. How many children they got there the other day when we was there? Now, Don says it's CPS's fault. He blames it on CPS, Mexican Mafia, Cornbread Mafia. He blames it on them, but 9 children, 4 different states. If we're correct, this ain't throwing a stone. This ain't pointing a finger. This is saying, hey, this is fact. This is truth with proof. If what we found out is true, we think it is. We think we've looked at the correct. It's hard to get juvenile records. It's hard to get court records and CPS records dealing with children. So we can only go with what we could find, but we think we're correct. If we're wrong, please, Don and Candace, please correct us. Mm-hmm. We want to be correct. We don't want to say anything that's incorrect on your behalf or towards you, but we don't mind saying it if it's the truth, because if it's the truth, you made the bed, you're right.
Yeah.
Now, again, I was talking earlier. Somebody's house got broke into, a burglary, and 2 doors down, a person's past predicts their future. 2 doors down, you've got a thief, a burglar. Who would be your first suspect? Well, again, nobody has been cleared in this investigation. So I wish they would have searched. If they just wanted a certified searcher, search it. Didn't let the general public in and have at it. Because this guy we talked to, or this guy we got information from, says that he observed officers coming out of the woods in a path. Nobody was searching. They was in a path. And then they go back and report and say, okay, we've searched this area. We've searched that area. That's not a search, guys.
Yeah, sometimes you have to get off the beaten path.
That's why Sheila and I found Joseph Couch 500 foot. It's a wonder they didn't smell him. He was 500 foot over the hill from where they held their press conference at. Kentucky State Trooper Scotty Pennington, public relations officer, held a press conference, had helmets on everybody, flak jackets, bulletproof vest on everybody on the media, taking pictures. And Joseph Couch is over the hill. You could have threw a rock out and landed on his remains from where they held that press conference. He's standing up there on top of that hill saying, we have searched 28,000 acres. They may have, but they didn't search 500 foot over the hill. Or if they did, what was the reason for not saying here it is? Was it overtime? Was it publicity? Was it, I know, I feel you. I'm asking that as a question. Did somebody actually run up on him? Because we can't believe that nobody did.
Yeah.
We can't believe that nobody didn't see him. And if they saw him, did they say, hey, let's go somewhere else and search? Mm-hmm. We're getting overtime. We're getting all kinds of publicity, national publicity on this I-75 shooter.
The smell was so strong.
We don't know that happened, but we don't know that it didn't happen. And we've always asked the question between us.
Yeah.
And isn't it funny that after we searched for 6, 7 days, they'd come up there on us, we told troopers after trooper, nobody was in the woods. Nobody searched for 6 or 7 days with us or around us until that last day. And when we went over that hill to search that area, we'd done searched west, south, and east. We just hadn't went north. When we went north and went over the hill to search, whoa, wait a minute. Here comes 4 troopers. I find it, after a 40-year career in law enforcement, I find it curious that they run us off. One trooper brags to another YouTuber. Yeah, we just had to run a couple of people off here. They bragged about running us off. We come back the very next day and actually find I-75 shooter's remains. Guys, there's too many questions. What if someone found something they missed? What if a regular bystander, a regular citizen from Rogersville, from Dent Hill, from Kingsport, or anywhere around there, what if they joined in the search and found something? Would have loved to have been part of it. Yeah. People were yearning to help. Women, men, they were yearning. Let us help. Let us do something. Oh, y'all stay back. We got to let the professionals. Guys, professionals can't search all those woods in the area that a child. You know, Sheila and I was curious last night, and she Googled. Sheila loves to research, and she Googled. Go ahead, babe. On how far a child can.
Oh, 11 miles.
I said probably 3 to 7 miles. I said, what? Google, see what a child, what area they can cover in the woods, missing child. I figured 3 to 7 miles, maybe. To 11 miles.
Up to 11 miles.
They found them as far away as 11 miles and 4 days later, alive. 11 miles away from where they started. 11 miles away, and I think he says on here, we had 100 officers out here. Wow. No, you had thousands and thousands and thousands of volunteers that would have hit those woods without giving it a second thought.
The locals there know the hills better than anyone, I'm sure. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
They live there. They've been in those hills. They know where every nook and cranny is.
In my opinion, they wasn't worried about somebody else getting lost. They were worrying about who was going to find that little girl. And that's sad. Doesn't matter who finds the child, as long as they find her.
As long as she's found, yeah.
That should be everybody's. Now, I'm sure everybody's going to say that. Oh, we don't care who found her. Actions speak louder than words, because if that was true, there would have been multitudes. Not armed. This is not an armed subject. They said they wanted to protect other searchers. They was afraid other searchers would get hurt from what? From what? Did she have a bang bang? Did she just rob a store? Was she a threat? A 5-year-old child? This is not looking for Joseph Couch. Joseph Couch shot 17 cars and 5 people. Yeah. He was armed. Now you need to be concerned probably. Now, and that's why I got so touched at the end of the search when it's all over with, because somebody wrote in the comments, said, "It's a wonder, you idiot. It's a wonder you didn't get your wife killed." And it hit me, and I thought, God, thank you. Thank God, because that's all it very well could have happened. Now, I'd rather have Sheila as a partner as anybody I've ever worked with. Self-defense wise, shooting wise, anything. But I could have got her killed because she'd follow me to the bad place, probably. I doubt that, but
yeah, I think that's what I have to turn. I don't want to go to Haiti.
Hopefully neither one of us will ever see that. But she'll follow me anywhere, and she did. And it hit me, and I really got touched by the way God blessed us, because I could have gotten her killed. I don't myself, but I don't want to get my wife killed.
If it's meant to be, it's meant to be.
But they're not looking for an armed subject. They were looking for a child.
Unless they have someone in mind. Maybe that
makes no sense to us. Guys, we said we were not throwing stones, and we're not.
No, please don't.
We're not. But as investigators, we also have some questions, and we also have opinions. When we say opinions, we're not throwing these opinions at anybody. We're throwing them out there. If they hurt your feelings, if you feel they're towards you, then do some self-checking maybe. In our research, we have seen some concerning factors. We've seen criminal histories.
Yeah.
We've seen criminal histories. Criminal history don't lie. You were either convicted or charged or investigated or for a criminal offense, or you wasn't. If you wasn't, we're not even going to mention no names, but if you wasn't, then does it make them guilty of anything? Does it make them guilty just because a person has criminal histories of other offenses, and some of them even domestic violence, some of them we don't even want to talk about. Some of them didn't even want to talk about, don't even bring up. That still doesn't make them guilty, anybody guilty of doing anything with some. But is it called a clue? Could it serve as a clue? Could it serve as a... Doesn't make them guilty of anything. Guys, there's one son. Well, I'll say this first of all. There's 3 boys there that day.
Yeah.
There's Grandma,
Yeah.
Candace,
Yeah.
and Don.
Yeah.
Not pointing a finger. I'm telling you facts. I'm going by facts as a police officer.
Exactly.
So you've got the 3 boys that supposedly saw her come in and go downstairs. Those 3 boys. Don said that's the last 3 that seen her, and that's what they said, that she come in and she going downstairs to play. Now, one of them's getting ready to turn 18 years old.
Yeah.
One of them's almost 18. What's those 3 children say? What's those 3 boys been saying over the years about their life? Have they ever said that they were SA'd? Have they ever said that they were mistreated? Have they ever made any allegations whatsoever? They're away from home now. They don't live there now. They're protected. They're forevermore. They're not coming back home until after they're 18. Is this 18-year-old boy, when he turns 18, is he going to come back home and say, hey, Mom, hey, Dad? Is he going to do that? Or is he going to stay as far away as he can? If he stays as far away as he can, that's called a clue. He's almost 18 years old. What's he say about this? He was 12 at the time, wasn't he, babe?
Yep, 12. So
12 years old? Nope. Who has a problem remembering when you were 12? Law enforcement asked him what happened to son. Or was he ever mistreated? If CPS allowed Don and Candace to give up children in lieu of prosecution, they're as bad as the parents are. I'm giving you my opinion, guys. That's why Sheila doesn't do lives with me. But that's still my opinion. If CPS charged Candace or Don,
or had evidence.
well, if they charged them, hon, they had to have evidence.
Okay.
If they brought a charge, now in that last video, Candace says she's never been charged with a crime. Well, we found otherwise. If it's the right Candace Bly. But Don says, well, you've been charged, but it was dismissed. She said, well, yeah, I was charged, but it was dismissed. And I said, do you care if I ask what the charge was? No. It was bad.
He said it was bad.
It was bad. Don was honest with us. He was forthcoming, but what was it? What was it that CPS had enough evidence on, I assume, Candace, to charge her criminally or with a summons or a warrant, a charge? Because he said, well, you were charged, but it was dismissed. If it was dismissed, there had to be a charge to dismiss.
Okay.
And if it was charged, there had to be at least some type of probable cause, some type of evidence that would justify a judge signing charges on her or a prosecutor and saying, hey, yeah, we can prosecute this. Now, why is it that charges were dismissed? Was it a ploy? Was it a means to an end where social services said, hey, CPS says, hey, let's charge you with this. They don't have the money for an attorney. They don't want to be aggravated with it. They don't know what else is going to come out. They'll get scared. They'll make a deal. They'll let us have 3 boys. Let's do it. It's possible. I've seen, in 40 years, I've seen everything. That's why I don't trust a lot of people. Some people say, Fred, you don't trust nobody. It's about right. I don't. I've seen it just because somebody carries a title or a badge. I said it to him, and I meant that part. Just because somebody carries a badge doesn't make them honest. You don't get honesty and integrity and character from carrying a little piece of metal around with you. Don't do it. That's here. Now, if they dismiss charges on Candace for some kind of bad charge, on any one of them children, just in order to get custody, they're as bad as she is, in my book. Because if you've got enough proof and you got enough evidence and you got enough to convict her, then you're going to be taking the kids anyway.
Right.
Why not put that person, why not get a conviction on that person for what you got? That's just it's my opinion. Again, I didn't charge Candace. I'm not pointing my finger at Candace. Dawn says that she was charged. She said she was charged, but it was dismissed. That's their... We're going to bring up some videos here in a minute, and you guys may understand things a little bit better. Don said he had 7 alibis. Candace has none. We're going to talk about that. This goes back to the part of where I say where 2 or more
or together, one will talk. Yeah.
Where 2 or more are involved, one will talk. Don says in a tape interview, evidently.
Yeah.
I've got 7 alibis. Candace has none. She's going
down.
She's going down.
Candace has nothing.
Guys, that's not Fred and Sheila pointing the finger at Candace, pointing the finger at Don. This is what Don has said.
That's his own words.
We've heard it on tape.
Yeah.
That's his own words. Don says he has 7 alibis. Candace has none, and she's going down. Down for what? Is that a clue? Should that be a clue to law enforcement? We're going to discuss law enforcement in a minute, because I'm not shy. I'll tell you in a minute what I would do if I was in charge of this investigation, or what I would have done. But we'll get to that. Hindsight's 20/20. It's easy to point the finger, but why wasn't Summer given a physical when CPS became involved in if abuse was suspected?
The day before, when they were there.
Well, the day before, they cleared them.
Yeah.
Don says that the day before that she disappeared, CPS showed up along with the supervisor, and they closed the case out. Well, if that's true, there was 2 mattresses laying down in the basement floor. One where Summer and her brother slept,
Yeah.
and another mattress where Dawn and Candace slept.
Right.
With what looks to me like porn on the TV. On one video I saw, some woman raising her shirt up. Looked to me like it was blurred out, but looks to me like porn. CPS. When was CPS called in to start this investigation? See, I'd like to ask that question while we were there, and let's go back to this. I'm not pointing fingers. I'm telling you, as a police officer, what I look at. Every time something would come up or I would start asking questions, I'm going inside. Well, she'd go inside, and then she would come back outside. I don't want to be on camera, but she's back outside. Now, it's her house. She can go and come as she pleases. I have no problem with that.
Exactly.
But when I would ask another question, what I would think was relevant, or Sheila would ask a question, here, talk to this one. Or she said, tell you if they want to know anything to call sheriff's office or TBI. Every time a question was asked that may have been relevant, could have been a coincidence, guys. Could have been a total coincidence. But when a person goes into a frenzy when you're asking questions, or could it be they're just inebriated? Could it be that they're really upset because they're missing a child? Could it be that they're trying to redirect and change the direction of that question, or don't want somebody answering it? Could it be D, all the above? It could be any and all. Didn't you all find it suspicious. I did as a police officer. Not enough to say, this person's done this person's done that. We're not doing that. We're still not claiming they done anything wrong. We don't know. But when you put all these clues and all these things together, CPS, why didn't CPS take, that would have eliminated all the rumors of her being SA'd or any of the boys being SA'd. Had social services just said, hey, it's our policy, and if it's not their policy, it should be, it's our policy to take these children for a physical. First thing we want to do is go get all the children examined. We've had a complaint. We're going to follow it through. When it's all said and done, everything will be clear, and you know it's right, and we know it's right. That's the way you do it. Wouldn't it have been something if they'd taken her for an exam and the boys and then interviewed them?
I wonder how many times has we call it social services. How many times have they been there? In the
Good
past?
question. Good question. Is that that's a great question. Is that
You
the
know what
only
I'm saying? Is that the
only
time?
complaint they've ever had in the children's lives?
Yeah. Yeah.
Guys, there was 4 other states. I don't know if I covered that earlier, but 4 other states took 4 different states took different children. They've had 9 children, and children have been taken in 4 different states. Is that CPS? Is that a conspiracy? Because there's nobody better at claiming everything to be a conspiracy than Fred McCoy. I think everything's a guy asked me one time, he said, Fred, why's everything got to be a conspiracy to you? Well, because I don't trust nobody. But even a person that believes everything's a conspiracy, I have a hard time believing that 4 different states conspired with each other, and their goal was nothing more than to delete these 2 people of their children. That's hard to believe without cause. If it was one state and they took them all or done something, you could say that. 4 different states, CPS came involved. If abuse was suspected, why did they not take those kids for medical exam? All kids should have had it. Don says that they were cleared that day.
Yeah.
That they said, okay, everything's done. Guys, from the videos that we've seen from back then to now, it doesn't look like a lot of stuff has changed. On the video that the detective did, he went through the house with Candace showing him around. He went through the house. That's where I saw the video on the TV downstairs where he's going down the stairs. Now, in our opinion, Don, Grandma, Candace, and 3 boys may know more than the police have been told. Now, guys, we're not accusing.
No.
But we're saying, in our opinion, we believe that
There's
they
more
may
to the
know more. It may not pertain to them actually doing anything or being involved. I don't want to condemn.
No.
I don't want to critique. I don't know what they've done, but it doesn't seem to me like they've been interviewed correctly or interrogated, or I just don't see it. I think these people should have been questioned more in depth than, and I'm going to tell you my strategy at the end of this video, what I would have done or what I would do tomorrow if it was me. Somebody said, I don't believe that Don and Candace have anything to do with Summer's missing. Sheila and I agree. Sheila, that was one of the statements. Somebody said, I don't believe they got anything to do with it. Sheila and I agree. We want to reiterate, as of right now, there's no evidence of them being involved. Thinking somebody had something to do with something and having evidence is 2 different things. We don't want to convict them on opinions or thinking. My opinion is that they need to be looked at harder, more closely by some good investigators and put the facts out there and put reality out there. And that's my opinion. If they lawyer up, they lawyer up. If they lawyer up, in my opinion, that's a clue. Because what parent lawyers up if there's nothing there? There's no reason to lawyer up except to make a plea deal. And I'm hoping that's what happens later on if anybody is guilty of this. Sheila and I agree and want to reiterate. We have no evidence whatsoever that would allow us to point the finger at Candace and Don. But just like TBI and Sheriff's Office says, nobody's been ruled out.
Mm-mm.
And I don't think from the research that we've been doing here in the last few days, I don't think they should be ruled out neither. They're not ruled out. They shouldn't be, according to the police, not been ruled out. We also like to reiterate that Tennessee does have the death penalty.
Yes,
Sheila
they do.
Sheila done some research on that. We were doing that last video, and I said, I don't know if Tennessee has the death penalty or not. Well, while I'm talking, Sheila's over there, and she says, before
Yep.
we got off that
Yep.
topic, she said Tennessee has the death penalty, and they do. And they have no time of limitations on certain charges such as murder and such as that. No time of limitations. Who wants to go through life with this over their head? Who wants to go through life?
When that knock is going to come to the door.
Or even if it don't come, just the guilt.
Of knowing, yeah.
If you've got a heart, and I believe everybody's got a heart and a soul. I believe everybody's got a conscience. That's why God gave us a conscience. A conscience, you can call it a conscience. That's a name for it, but that's God. Your conscience is God. And when you get ready to steal that set of glasses, God says, oh, that's them yours, Fred? No, they're not mine. When you get ready to steal that, whatever. Is that
Car,
yours?
whatever.
Is that yours, Fred? No, it's not mine. That's your conscience. That's God talking to you. And when you've done something bad or wrong, and especially one of the 10 commandments, thou shalt not kill. Thou shalt not kill. That's one of the 10 commandments. But he also says you can be forgiven. Got to ask, you got to be redeemed, come clean. And more important things than freedom in this life. We're going somewhere after this. As much publicity as this case has gotten, no doubt a prosecutor would seek the death penalty in this case if it's solved. There's no doubt in our mind that the prosecutor there in Hawkins County would seek the death penalty in this case. No doubt. If there's not a plea agreement where the party or parties have voluntarily come forth. Guys, that's where you get your lawyers at. I'm not talking to any particular person or people. I'm talking to whoever took that child or knows where that child is. I have a feeling that child is in those woods. She could have gotten mad. We don't know that she actually went to the basement. We don't know that that's where she went from. We don't know. We know what everybody's said over the years. Don't always, you can't believe everything everybody tells you. Again, I don't want to point the finger at people, but has people told lies? Has people fibbed? Has people made I've got 7 alibis. She has none. She's going down. Down for what? Does that not raise curiosity? What did he mean? What did he mean? We don't know that she went out that back door. That's what people said she did. We don't know that. Don't always believe everything you're told. Don't believe nothing you're told. Investigate. If there's not a plea agreement where the party or parties voluntarily come forth, guys, all you got to do is get you a good lawyer. You can get a bad lawyer and let him go to the prosecutor and say, hey, who the prosecutor there is, but hey, I've got a person or people and they want to come clean about the whereabouts and what happened to Candace, to Summer. What will you offer? What can we do here? Well, we want to know where she's at. We want to know if she's deceased, where the remains are. We want them recovered.
How did it take place?
We want everything truthfulness. If they catch them in one lie, but we will do this, and this. I don't know. I'm not a prosecutor, but I guarantee you a prosecutor would work with an attorney because a prosecutor like Sheila and I or anybody want to know where this baby's at. And especially if she's alive and been abused. Definitely. Remember, where 2 or more are involved, one will talk. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about that.
Okay.
One will talk. One will talk when they get mad,
Yeah.
they get angry. 7 eyes, she has none. She's going down. I don't know. Is that, again, that's very concerning to hear somebody make a statement like that.
Mm-hmm. It is.
They get vengeful.
Yeah.
They get scared that the other person's going to talk. See, people get scared.
Mm-hmm.
I want you to. If there's two involved, they may just be one person involved. And again, she may have just wandered off. It may have been an accident. We're going to talk about something here in a minute. Sheila brought up that may be an accident, but either way, we've got some kind of a cover up. We don't know where Summer's at.
Right.
But is it not concerning to the other person that maybe someday, do you think that, let's hypothetical.
Okay.
Do you think that if Candace and Don were involved with the disappearance of Summer, Candace and Don are drinking or doing other things, and Candace hears Don make a statement like that, I've got 7 alibis. She's got none. She's going down. Is that going to concern Candace if she's done anything wrong?
Sure.
Is that going to cause concern for her?
Will cause her to panic.
Every time they get inebriated or intoxicated or not thinking correctly, do they have to worry about the other one being picked up on a charge or something, then saying, hey, I'll make a deal with you. I'll give you. And boys, I'm going to tell you what. If somebody ever makes a deal on this, the other one's getting the death penalty.
Yeah.
You can believe it. What did Sheila say earlier? There's what you said earlier.
Oh. If one talks, the other one walks. One walks. Yeah.
That's sad to think that the justice system, we would have to let one go. But
Yeah. If they talk, they walk.
would a prosecutor do that just in order to find out what happened? I would hope he would. I would hope he would.
Yeah.
Two more. Speaking of death, the other person always has to look over their back because dead people don't talk. Dead man or a dead woman doesn't talk, guys. So if there's two of you involved and you're scared, wait a minute, I'm afraid he's going to get drunk and say something. I'm afraid she's going to get drunk and say something, or intoxicated or drugged up or whatever. Talking hypotheticals here. This could be anybody. This doesn't only mean, again, nobody's ruled out, but does either one of them, if there's two people involved, does either one of them ever think to themselves, wow, I could wake up dead. I could get an overdose. I could get a shot and be overdosed while I'm sleeping. I could be.
You had a case like that, if you remember.
I could be. Yeah. Yeah, I had a lady that her husband was a bank robber. Her husband was a deputy sheriff.
Mm-hmm.
Pike County deputy sheriff in Kentucky. I was a detective, my partner and I. She came to us. He'd been robbing banks. Put this deputy uniform on underneath the coveralls. Go in and rob a bank, take the coveralls off, drive down the road like he's looking for the bad guy. He's looking for the bank robber.
Mm-hmm.
She came to us. He was going to kill now. He'd already allegedly killed. He didn't allegedly. He actually, there's a picture in one of my things where we were out there digging. Had a shovel in my hand and a bulldozer behind us, and they're digging a trash pile trying to uncover her ex-husband's body where this deputy sheriff had killed her husband for insurance money so he could have her. Now she's concerned that he's going to kill her. And she came to us and took us to where another body, one of the fellow bank robbers, had been killed. We found his body, the cadaver dog. So yeah, but she was so concerned, and in fact, they end up down the road indicting her on charges also because she was involved in some stuff. So she didn't get off completely free. But she was so concerned that he was going to kill her that she rode over on him. Now, this is a little bit different story. This is a child. Right. This is Tennessee. This is one of the most publicized stories that's ever been in Tennessee. And you can bet the death penalty is going to be on the table. Guys, you can't shut the door after the cow gets out. You got to make a deal while they're still making time. Once somebody tells on the other one or does something, you can't come up and say, wait a minute, I want to tell you my side. You hit it. Get it. Done told it. We done got you. You're had. You're going down. Sometimes the perp simply starts feeling guilty and tells himself it's either S side or I'm going to have to tell the truth. It gets so unbearable to them that drugs, alcohol, nothing can fill that void. They know they've done wrong. It's just a something inside of them they can't. And I've worked enough cases of people like this that they tell you, I knew I was either going to do this or I was going to turn myself in. It was either S side or I'm going to turn myself in.
Yeah.
I got to tell the truth, but I've got to do something.
Yeah.
Serve their time and get out, go on about their lives. Still life. I've used one person against another many times, and I have. We say it's better to get one as neither. If there's two people or more involved, I'd rather have one as none. And I'm hoping the prosecutor there feels the same way. I'd rather have one person and know what happened to this little angel than we would to go forevermore and say, boy, if we ever get him, we're going to throw the book at him. I'll tell you that. If we ever get him, we'll throw the book at him. Well, let's throw the book at one of them. Let's throw the book at one. Let's throw the book to the one that was late in coming to the table. What's that? The early bird gets the worm. The early bird gets to buy. The early bird gets to move away, go somewhere else, start over. Nobody knows you. You're free.
Lesser charge, whatever. Yeah.
Or lesser charge. I mean, that's up to the attorneys
It's
and
up to-
prosecutor.
right.
I'm saying if I had to let one of them go
Completely.
that's me talking. That doesn't mean they go by anything I say.
Right.
But I'm telling people, if there's two or more involved right now, if I had to let one of you go and move away, as long as we got the other one and we got that little baby, know where she's at. That's what it's about. The one who walks away gets the deal. The one who talks gets the deal.
Yeah.
The one who talks gets the deal. Death sentence to the other.
Yeah.
Like Sheila says, one talks, one walks. Same one that talks, walks.
Right.
Sometimes sad to have to let one go free, but it's a means to an end. Sometimes that's all we got, guys. But it's better to let one go free than it is two people go free or five people go free, or
And still not know, yeah.
when it's that, or never knowing where Summer is, or if she's dead or alive. We'd rather make a deal. Drug overdose, set up, like self-defense. You know, have you ever seen people just go off the wall and you think, wow, if that person went off like that on me, wow. Or that one went off on me like that, wow. Or there's tapes, or there's criminal records where people's got domestic violences and they've been accused of doing something to, and there's criminal records of this. And then all of a sudden that person comes up dead. And cops come and they say, well, I say, oh, he attacked me. Oh, she attacked me. Oh, they attacked me. I had to defend myself. Well, what's the old saying a while ago? Dead people don't talk. You've only getting one history here. You're getting a person laying there on the floor dead, and you're getting this person saying, hey, I've had domestic violences. I've had reports. You've seen on videotape how people can act and carry on and how dangerous they sound. Because I've heard this on a lot of people. I've heard videos. Sheila and I have been researching.
Yeah.
And there's where people calls in to people's YouTubers and go off.
Ooh.
And you're thinking, wow, I would consider that threatening if I heard that. And then they say, I had no choice. I had a butcher knife. I thought they was going to kill me. I had to defend myself. That's all the cops got to go on, guys. As a police officer, that's all you got to go on. And that's what the other person, if there's two people involved in this, that's what the other person's got to worry about. When you lay down at night thinking, is this person over there thinking beside of me that I'm going to roll on them? Because I'm laying here thinking, are they going to roll on me?
Get mad and
If you're thinking that,
then
don't think they ain't thinking it. Who's going to get there first? Who's going to do it first? Guys, we want to talk about this red truck. We're going to show a video here.
This is very interesting, guys. Very, very interesting. Right here, let's start
This
with
is
this one.
pertaining to the red truck.
So the red truck, the business about the red truck, they're saying it's like a 1998 to 2000 maroon or red Toyota Tacoma. That's pretty specific. With a bed ladder rack along with white buckets in the truck bed. Who saw that and was so smart to get all that information and then remember it and then actually regurgitate it? Whose information is that?
So it was a witness in the area who believes they saw that red truck.
Now, guys, very interesting comment right there.
Yeah, that was.
It was a witness in the area. Mm-hmm. It was a witness in the area. Now, you got to remember, the red truck had ladder racks on it and had a bunch of white buckets in the back. White drywall buckets, paint buckets. Who's a drywaller in the family? I'm not pointing fingers. As an investigator, I'm asking questions. Would that be somebody's truck that would be into drywall? Could it have been somebody working with Don, or somebody borrowed somebody else's vehicle? He says it was a witness in the area. Mm-hmm. Well, we know it wasn't Don, because Don says he was in Jonesboro working. He was on the job. Let's play this second video.
This one here, okay?
Road. He lives in town in some nice house somewhere. He don't live on my road.
But he wouldn't have an idea of it? He just has
I know my road. I know my road better than Ronnie Lawson does. I'll tell you like that. I'm not trying to be against him or whatever. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
I'm the one that took the pictures of that red truck.
Whoa.
Came back up on us.
I hope they caught that. If they didn't, then we can,
I will have you right here to play it over and over, 2 or 3 times. Over and over. First of all, Brian Ian said that a witness saw the red truck. A witness couldn't have been Don, because Don's on the job in Jonesboro.
Right.
Here, Don is on an interview with somebody, and he says, I'm the one that took the picture of the red truck.
Yeah.
Now, we could be misinterpreting something here. We could be wrong, like I always say. We don't understand that, because we're going to let you hear another comment in a minute, because that was Don. That's his voice.
That's him.
And he just said that I'm the one that took the picture of the red truck. Well, Brian Eden says that the red truck was identified the day that Summer come up missing.
Right.
Well, when she come up missing, Don was supposed to be on the job somewhere. Mm-hmm. Now let's play this one here and see if you guys. Again, I'm not pointing the finger. We're showing you the difference in stories and how they contradict themselves. And when you have stories and things that contradict themselves, that person may want to be looked at a little bit closer.
So here's the other one here.
Relate with and socialize with. So we don't know anything about, no red truck, or we hardly know many of our neighbors. I mean, because.
Put it on us.
Okay.
Did you guys hear that? So it sets in your mind. Mm-hmm. We don't know nothing about no red truck.
Right.
Well, Don has just told a lie, in my opinion. I'm not pointing the finger. I'm not saying he's responsible for his daughter's disappearance, but I'm telling you
there's discrepancies here.
That he's told 2 different stories. Mm-hmm. He says, I'm the one that took the picture of the red truck.
Yeah.
And then he says, we don't know nothing about no red truck. Which one is it? Did he take a picture of a red truck? Or does he not know anything about a red truck? We don't know. We don't know which one it is or whether it would even have any relevance. Brian Eaton says that the red truck had came up. A witness had seen the red. Who is the witness? Who is that witness? Is that witness somebody from the sheriff's office that says, we got a picture of a red truck here, and they just wanted some evidence to put out, and Don gave them this picture, and they said a witness gave us this. Wait, that's not a witness. That's a possible suspect, and that's a suspect that should be on the job in Jonesboro. How can he give you a picture of a red truck that was there that day when he's not even around there, supposedly?
Doesn't make sense there.
Doesn't make sense, guys. It doesn't add up. It doesn't pass the taste test or smell test.
Nope.
Let's talk about the red truck. We wanted to show 3 videos. We showed them. Again,
Yep.
assuming the sighting of the red truck was true, were there drywall buckets in the back? Was it supplies a drywaller would be carrying? We know Don's a drywaller. See, I'm not pointing fingers. Just because we bring out, guys, in an investigation, when you bring out certain elements, certain criteria, that doesn't mean but you've got to rule people out. You've got to be able to say, hey, but when you're showing a truck with a ladder rack and white buckets in the back, 5-gallon buckets, which is either drywall or paint, and you've got a person of interest that's a drywaller, that raises suspicion. That needs to be looked at closer. But if he says he was the one who reported the red truck,
Yeah.
it wouldn't have been him. He couldn't have been because he was at work. Could this so-called red truck be from an employee or a former employee? Could somebody be trying to point the direction? It happens. 40 years, I've seen it all. Could somebody be trying to point the direction toward another drywaller, another person? I don't know. I'm asking a question.
Right.
Most people know you need a body or a witness for a conviction of murder or overwhelming circumstantial evidence, such as phones pinging off certain towers that shows that you're in that area, or traffic light cameras, etc. Overwhelming evidence, and overwhelming evidence that a lot of prosecutors wouldn't even fool with. A lot of prosecutors don't fool with overwhelming circumstantial evidence. Circumstantial is something other than physical evidence or an eyewitness. Circumstantial, it would have to be so overwhelming because, guys, once you charge somebody, indict them, try them, and they come back with a verdict, that's over with. That person can't be tried for that again. That's double jeopardy. So I can see a prosecutor not wanting to take a chance with no body or with no witness. I can see that.
Okay.
Most criminals know as long as that's my story and I'm sticking to it, they're good. Most people know, guys, that's my story and I'm sticking to it. Or I've lawyered up. Talk to my lawyer. However, they can never, ever be positive that the other person may slip up and get mad or sell them out. That's the good thing about if there's 2 people. If there's 2 people involved in any of this, then that's the great thing, because someday maybe one of them, before they die or before something happens, maybe one of them will squeal on the other. One of them. I said, if you see something on a video, you don't like it, let us know. We'll edit it. You guys hear me say that when I left?
Yeah.
Some people commented that in the comments. And I say, hey, I told him, and then I told Candace. When I told Don, he said, whatever. But I said it to both of them. Some people say, why would you edit? Well, would you edit, or would that be a clue? Would you edit, or would that be a clue? If a person calls you up and says, hey, I don't like where you put in there about this, where Candace had a reporter. I don't like this, where we was over. That would be a clue. Why wouldn't you like that? If there's nothing wrong with it, if there's nothing. Now, Candace and Don, neither one has contacted us and said, hey, take this out, take that out, edit this, edit that. I wish you hadn't put this. Neither one of them has done that. We think it's good. We think it's good. Neither one of them has contacted and said, take this out, or because if they did, as an investigator, we would find that interesting. And we would even look at that even more closely. That would be a clue to look at that even harder.
Yep.
Right, babe?
Exactly. I agree with that one.
What we were looking, huh?
I said there'd be something that we might be missing, so we'd go back and check it out again to make sure that we've covered all the bases on it.
We would look at it harder because there's some reason they don't want us to have that in there. They didn't contact us. So again, that's what we were looking for is that there would be a clue of something they didn't want out. They didn't contact us. Again, it's not about the parents, it's about Summer to us. But we want to be fair. That's me and Sheila, that's why we wrote. We want to be fair with everybody.
Sure.
We're not beyond pointing the finger if it ever comes to the point where there's enough evidence or enough proof to say, hey,
Yeah.
what did the boys see? Oh, the boys are such critical,
That's
crucial, huh?
That's major right there.
The boys are crucial, especially the oldest one in this case, to go back and see.
Yeah.
We hope those boys talk as they get older. We have seen polygraphs and comments reference to a sheriff, Brian Eden, but can't find the video. We've seen other YouTubers that says, well, they took polygraphs and the sheriff said they passed them. Well, he told us they took polygraphs and passed them. We've seen other YouTubers report it, and we've asked other YouTubers, where did you see that at? We can't find that Brian Eden video. In fact, we were on there years ago on that show, and we still had their phone number in our phone. When we found the I-75 shooter, we called and talked to Carrie, and Carrie couldn't remember it. It was late today, and she was going to look for it later on and so forth. But we still haven't seen where Brian was interviewing the sheriff, and the sheriff said both of them passed the polygraph. They could be out there, and that'd be great to see. I can't see it. I really just can't see a sheriff, a public official, saying somebody passed or failed a polygraph during an active investigation, an active and ongoing investigation. I just can't see it. Could have happened. Anything's possible. May be true, but without proof, we must assume it's a spread by rumor.
Yep.
Now, Don says he passed the polygraph, him and Candace. He says his papers are gone. The jail stole his papers. Candace has her papers. Of course, I could be wrong, but I believe that's one of the times that Candace either said call the SO or TBI or got up and stormed out and went back inside again. Because our next question would have been,
Can we see it?
yeah, can you show us Candace's? That would have been our next question. But something happened. I can't remember, and I could be wrong. Maybe I changed the subject. Maybe Dom brought up CPS again. I don't know.
I don't think she was outside at the time, but I could be wrong.
Oh, yes. Oh, during the polygraph.
Yeah.
She was out there when he was talking about the criminal charges, where she said, I ain't never been charged. Okay. Well, maybe that's why, but something we didn't ask.
Right.
I'd like to see Candace's.
Yeah.
That would have been great. That would have been a great time to show us that. I would find it shocking that an active law enforcement officer would tell that publicly. Either way, whether they passed or failed. With Don's past, Don's been around the block, guys. Don will tell you this. Don, I got on here somewhere. This is a tough guy. He's been through it over the years. Don is a tough old man. You guys can look at him and think humble. He was very gracious to us. Go ahead and tape. You can tape me. You can do this. You can do that. Very gracious. Guys, that guy would tear somebody apart if he gets in the right frame of mind. That guy I'm giving you my thoughts from a man that's with the criminal history, the criminal record that he's got. I don't think he's a wimp. Let me put it like that. I don't think Don is a wimp in any manner or sort of the word. I think Don is very capable of handling and taking care of himself. He's been around the block. He's been in the system since he was a young man. I've seen old booking pictures where he was booked in years past. He's been around. And when you've been around, you learn things. You learn things in prison. You get educated. You You get hard. Now, I seen pictures of Don in church. I seen pictures of Don giving Sheila a religious book.
Yeah, we did.
He talks about God. I think Don means well. Don means well. Actions speak louder than words. Actions speak louder than words. We just took a different approach when talking to Don and Candace. Don and Candace are tough people, guys. This is not these are not meek and mellow people. These people are survivors. They're mountain people. They both have criminal histories. You're not going to frighten or scare these two people. Certain people know certain things about our justice system. They know how to handle investigations. Not that I'm saying that they're hiding anything or doing anything. Let me clarify that. But I'm saying these two people, he's not scared of the law and definitely not scared of a couple of old hillbilly YouTubers. Don wasn't. Don didn't see no fear in Sheila and I. And there was no need to. We were there looking for Summer, trying to see what we could find out on Summer. In the meantime, trying to see if anything he told us, TBI or Sheriff's Office could pick up on, or the FBI, that maybe he told us something or she told us something that was incorrect or different. Because that's what you look for. You look for stories that's inconsistent with each other. Inconsistent, you've got a child that's disappeared, but you've got an inconsistency here, you've got an inconsistency there, you've got, whoa, how did that happen? Because it either happened or it didn't. Said the other day, people said they didn't want to had a disclaimer or didn't want to be on video or whatever. Guys, listen, if we never say anything that we're afraid to repeat, we never have to back up. If we never tell nothing but the truth, we don't have to worry about it. We don't have to back up and say, well, I meant this or I meant that, or tell the truth.
Truth will set you free.
That's all a person wants. Sheila, that's great. A good place to put that. Truth, no, seriously. Truth is, I'm going back to if there's two or more involved, truth will set you. Truth is going to set somebody free. It's just ever who tells the truth first.
Yep.
Lawyer's up, goes to the prosecutor and says, hey, I want to tell you where she's at. I want to tell you what happened. That's it. It's as simple as that. The truth will set you free. Nobody else snooping around the house. Nobody else making accusations. Nobody. It's finally over. What a relief for somebody out there that says, hey, I'm ready for this to end. I can't handle this. Going to bed at night thinking about it, waking up all night long thinking about it, getting up in the morning thinking about it.
Under conviction.
Trying to survive during the day thinking about it. Trying to do what's right with God. Because God says, admit, you got to come true, guys. Ever who? I'm not saying.
Whoever.
Yeah, I'm not saying. When I say guys, even though we're talking about, because we haven't talked to nobody else. Now, we plan on it. We plan on talking to some other people, which in the works. Hopefully it works out. He's not scared of law, and he's definitely not scared of Sheila and I. We appreciate how nice he was to us. Him and Candace. Candace went and got us those RCs, and she tried to, guys, you catch more bees with honey than vinegar.
That's for sure.
If Don knows something, no one's going to threaten him or beat it out of him. I can tell you that. See, I was in the Marines. I was a police officer for 40 years. I'm a good judge of character. I'm a good judge of manhood. I'm a good judge of... That right there is one tough hombre in my book. I would say Don's about as tough as they come. He's prison broke. You're not going to tell Don to do anything that he doesn't want to do. So when we went up on that hill that day, and friendly and nice, and Sheila's, we're not like that anyway. We should be. Everybody should be like that when you meet people. We didn't go up there accusing him or condemning him, or it wasn't up our question and answer. It wasn't up there. Well, wait a minute. You said this. I said there one time, if I catch you in a fib, I'll call you out.
You sure did.
I don't know if I would have or not. Because, guys, when you start calling people out, now, if he was in a interrogation room and I'm a police officer and he's either under arrest or he can either lawyer up or leave, then I can accuse and I can say anything I want to say. But if I do anything on his property after inviting us up, all he's going to do is say, go ahead and leave, guys. We're done. It's over. Well, we didn't want it to be over. We wanted to talk to Don and Candace. So I don't know that I would have said anything, or if I did say anything, because I wanted him to talk, and he did. And we appreciated that.
Yep.
He, like everyone else, does have a heart and a soul. And Don knows, even though I think he's a tough hombre, even though I think he's been around the block, Don has got a good heart and a good soul. I've seen videos of Don crying. I've seen videos of Don thinking about God and so forth. Mm-hmm. Has Don made mistakes? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Don's made his share of mistakes. Candace has made her share of mistakes. If he knows anything and ever reveals it, that would be because of the good inside. If Don, we're talking hypothetically, let's say Don and Candace knows, or one or the other, or both. It'd be from the goodness of their heart. It's not because we've got a body that we can say, hey.
Right.
It's not because we got a phone call that says, hey, she's in Mexico, or she's in California, or she's been sold off. It don't matter. If they ever do anything, it's going to be out of the goodness of their heart, because as of right now, every who done this has got away with it. Isn't that something to think about? That they're free? They're free forevermore. Until they take their last breath. Until they take their last breath. Because vengeance is mine.
Oh, boy.
Saith the Lord. And I think then it's going to come time to be accountable. Would we rather be accountable here? I would. I'd rather be accountable. Guys, I know we're talking about Don and Candace. Doesn't mean that's who's responsible.
Right.
I'm throwing this out there to them in hopes that somebody else is also listening. And if Don and Candace has nothing to do with it, then this should go right off their shoulder. They should think to themselves, I appreciate what Fred and Sheila's trying to do. It's not us. So we hope that the other people is listening. That's what Don and Candace should be thinking. It's not us. We hope that whoever else is out there is listening to Fred and Sheila, and they want to make this right and bring our baby home.
Right.
We all have good and bad. The devil's real, and he's after us all every day. Guys, I tell this story. I'm almost done with this video.
Well, we still have some more little
Oh, that's right. We got
videos to show. Yeah.
I'm sorry, baby. I'll do this and then we'll start showing them. I tell this story a lot on our other videos, and some of you may have heard it. If you did, so be it. But if you haven't, the tale of the two wolves.
Yep.
An old Indian chief tells his grandson that there's a fierce fight that goes on inside of every human being. And he explains to him that there's two wolves. It's like two wolves are inside of us. And these two wolves are fighting. They're always battling each other. The first wolf is evil. Anger and envy, jealousy and greed, arrogance. That's the first wolf. The second wolf is good, joyful, peaceful, loving, hopeful, and kind. And these two wolves are fighting each other all the time inside of a human. And the grandson says, Grandfather, which wolf wins? And the chief says,
The one you feed.
The one you feed. Are we going to feed the lying and the deceit or are we going to feed the good one, kindness and the truthfulness, godly one? Mm-hmm. Show your second video, babe.
Okay, now this one here is where Candace said they were planting flowers.
Okay.
I'll go ahead and give you all a heads up on that.
Me and my mother and her were planting flowers. And we went in after we got done washing our hands, and she got a piece of candy from Grandma, and she wanted to go back over and see her brothers. And I said, okay, and I walked her all the way over to the porch, and I watched her walk into the kitchen where the boys were watching TV. And I told the boys, I said, watch Summer, I'll be back. And within 2 minutes I came back. And I asked the boys where their sister was, and they said, she went downstairs, Mom, to play with her toys in the playroom. I said, okay. And I yelled downstairs for her a couple times, and I didn't get no answer.
So that is what she said. Okay. However, we saw this one here of Grandma.
And of course, Summer. And
She's talking about him bringing the groceries in.
I laid down and went to sleep, and I got up and I was sitting in my doorway, and we come out, and Candace asked me what I was doing. I said, well, we got to transplant these little cactuses.
Okay. So, the grandma,
Here.
that's the one where she said she didn't go for a walk.
Okay, hold on there. So there's, the grandma said she come home and took a nap.
Mm-hmm.
Candace said they went out there and worked on the flowers.
Yeah.
Somewhere in there, they say that Grandma gave Summer some candy, peppermint candy.
Her favorite.
Guys, 5 years old. 5 years old. Not that it don't happen. Our son got choked when he was about that age. One time, scared the dickens out of me. My brother saved his life. I panicked.
Yeah.
And he done more or less the Heimlich and got the peppermint patty or a little white.
It was a warhead. At that time, they had these little really sour.
And he got choked on it and almost died. He turned blue.
Mm-hmm.
After that, we started giving our kids suckers, something with a stick on it, until they get to a certain age,
Yeah.
something they can hold on to. It's so easy for children to get choked. Sheila and I just talking, here's hypotheticals. Social services was just there the day before.
Mm-hmm.
Just there the day before.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want social services coming back. You don't want... Could the baby have got choked on that candy?
Mm-hmm.
Could it have been an accident?
Yeah.
Could there been, what they're saying was candy was maybe medicine or something? Could she have gotten some medicine?
Yeah.
And something happened as an accident, and then people panic and they say, I'm talking as a former police officer, I don't know.
Right.
I'm talking hypothetically.
Right.
But one of them says here that they went and changed flowers and ate candy, and Grandma says that she took a nap.
Yeah.
We don't know. And then she says, good point, Sheila.
We come out.
We come out. She says she woke up, was sitting in the doorway, and we come out. A lot of questions.
Mm-hmm.
Where is the grandma? Who has talked to the grandma? Who has really, really interrogated the grandma? Because the grandma's there. She's on the premises when a child comes up missing.
Right.
The grandma she's also not been ruled out, I don't imagine, because they said nobody has been ruled out. So that means grandma has not been ruled out. Where is the grandma? Who has talked to the grandma? We're going to show you one more here, and then I'm going to give a closing
Yeah.
statement.
I've got a couple things here. I think there's, yeah. This one here is where he said he had 7 alibis.
We'll show that one just to show that we know.
Yeah.
We like truth with proof, so you don't think we made this up. We like to show.
Here you go.
I have 7 alibis. Candace ain't got none. She's going down.
There are your players, 2 of them specifically. And if you think that law enforcement isn't looking at those players,
I have 7 alibis. Candace ain't got none. She's going down.
Wow. See, to me, that is very, very, very strange that he would say that.
Yes, very strange.
Okay. Now let's go back here. This was the...
From 110 Ben Hill Road off of Beach Creek should be the first residence on your right. Reference to a missing 4-year-old. The parents have called in and advised that the mother had went for a walk, came home, now they can't find her. They've been yelling for her. She's been gone for about 10 minutes now.
And if you see there, it says the parents have called and advised that the mother had went for a walk. Okay.
They said, she went downstairs, Mom, to play with her toys in the playroom. I said, okay. And I yelled downstairs for her a couple times, and I didn't get no answer, which was unusual because usually she always answers me. And so I went down there to check, and she was nowhere in sight. She was just gone. I don't go on walks around here or runs because I'm scared of the bears and snakes and even the coyotes that are around here. Well, whoever has my dog.
I don't walk. I don't walk or run. Told dispatch, or at least dispatch wrote. Now, that's what dispatch is writing. We don't know if dispatch, sometimes people, mother went for a walk. She says she don't walk. She says they're planting flowers. Grandmother says she's asleep.
Yeah.
Says gave her some candy. Guys, what is it? What is it? Victims of their parents, CPS, other family members who failed to speak up. These children, Summer and the boys, were victims. They were victims to a point from their parents of different things that's being alleged. At least that's being alleged because he wouldn't tell us what Summer had been, or Candace had been charged with.
Right.
He wouldn't tell us that.
He said it was bad, and that's all
It's
he
bad,
said.
he said. It was bad enough that they took the 3 boys. So the children have been victimized by the parents, CPS, because CPS, had they, what I feel, done their job, if they just closed an investigation out the day before, and when that detective went there to take those pictures, and you've got pictures of stuff still in the floor in the basement and so forth, and the mom and dad sleeping there, and there's something on the TV that children shouldn't be seeing. Probably the adults shouldn't be seeing, but that's their prerogative.
That's,
And they were victimized. If CPS didn't remove the children then or do something, then CPS let the children down. I heard somebody say, Summer saved the 3 boys. That's possible.
Yeah.
That's a good way of putting it, because Summer may have saved the other 3 boys if some of the things was going on.
If indeed that,
That's being alleged. Now, I don't know. I wasn't there. Sheila and I wasn't there. Well, Sheila's not talking. I am. But somebody failed the children. Somebody failed Summer for sure, because we don't even know where she's at. But they are victims. Their lives have been disrupted, maybe even ended, because others failed to act. Summer's lives may be over. We know the 3 boys have been adopted out. Summer's life, it could be over. We don't know if she's alive or dead. I really hope that they see not everyone is against them. This just breaks my heart. Somebody wrote this on our comments. I really hope that they see not everyone's against them. This just breaks my heart. And that was sweet. Somebody wrote that to Candace and Don.
That's
right. And that's sweet. And I responded. Sheila and I are not against. It's about the truth. We're not for or against anybody. We're for the truth. We want to know where Summer's at. Somebody knows where Summer's at. CPS had charges on Candace that were dropped. Was this just a means to an end, or was it a ploy to make a deal to get the 3 boys? Had they enough evidence to bring charges? Why would they dismiss charges? Why would they dismiss them? If they had enough evidence to bring the charges in the first place, was anyone charged for giving false information against Candace because something happened? If they filed a complaint against Candace for something bad, Don said it was bad. He don't even want to talk about it because it was bad. But CPS brought charges against her, and it was so bad Don doesn't want to talk about it, but CPS ended up dismissing the charges. They didn't go to, it just dismissed.
Yeah.
So if the charges was dismissed, who was charged with fabricating a story? Who was charged with lying? Who was charged with swearing a false story against Candace? Because somebody had to swear out charges. if you take a warrant for somebody or file charges, you have to file a sworn affidavit to that what you're saying is true. So if they said something about Candace and alleged that she done something, and it was good enough that they went and got charges on her, but when it got ready to go to court or went to court, somewhere along the way, it was dismissed. Why was it dismissed?
Yeah.
Did somebody tell a lie? And was that person charged with lying for filing charges? And if they didn't lie, why wasn't she prosecuted? Why did we just take the 3 boys? Why didn't we prosecute her and go ahead and take the 3 boys at the same time?
Mm-hmm.
Did we have to make a deal because there was not enough evidence there to convict? Yeah, to convict Candace on her behalf. I'm taking up for her. So for those of you saying we follow the leads, guys. We follow the truth. We follow the proof.
Wherever it may lead.
Something's not right here.
Yeah.
If they got charges on her, they should have prosecuted her. If they didn't prosecute her, then who filed false charges?
And they should be held accountable for what's it called? False
reporting or false swearing. See, Grandis isn't allowed near kids. As soon as Summer vanished, Grandis, I guess somebody calls her Grandis, did a news interview and then left the hill. Where is Grandma?
Yeah.
Where did Grandma go? Was Grandma interrogated? I'm not talking about interviewed. You interview them first. You interview people and talk to people, and you interview them in the beginning.
Right.
Everybody's nice and cordial. And then at some point, guys, it has to turn into a interrogation. You don't have to bring out the light and put in their face. You don't have to.
No.
But at some point, you've got good cop, bad cop. You've got, at some point, you give them their options. Sorry, but sometimes in an investigation, you allow the suspect to make their own assumption as to what you're saying. Somebody had asked and made the comment that Fred lied to Don when I was talking about. I don't know what I would have lied about. I try to be truthful, but if I tell a fib to find a child, so be it. So be it. I don't remember saying anything that wasn't true, but there are ways to word things where you can assume whatever you want to assume it to mean or whatever. And I don't know what. Again, I agree with Don on some things that I probably didn't actually agree with Don on, but do I want to debate Don and stop the interview, or do I just agree and go on? It's like that old joke. Somebody just wants to argue all the time, and they say 2 + 2 = 5. And you think, well, all that person's wanting to do is argue, and you say, oh, yeah, that's right. You got to carry the one. Means to an end. Once again, we are not law enforcement, private investigators. We are Jane and John Doe off the street talking to people who both have backgrounds for not telling the truth. Both these people have criminal backgrounds. Both of them.
Yeah.
These people are tough. These are not. I'm almost 70 years old. My wife and I are searching for a missing child. Did CPS fail Summer? Yes. Did Mom and Dad fail Summer? We think so, in my opinion. Did Summer save her brothers? Very possibly. Very possibly. Has a person's past come back to haunt them? You know, again, guys, we're not pointing a finger. It may seem like it to some of you. We're not pointing a finger, and we're not accusing and saying Don and Candace is guilty of Summer's disappearance. We're not saying that.
No.
We can see why nobody's been ruled out. We can see why. And we're hoping that if Don and Candace does have anything to do with it, they talk to each other. They don't have to roll on the other one. If they did have anything to do with it, they don't have to roll on the other one. They can say, hey, let's do this. Let's do the right thing. We don't have no kids anyway. We don't have no children. This is killing us. All we're doing is abusing ourselves through substances. Let's come clean. I'm talking hypothetically, and both of them could lawyer up and lawyer go plea deal on both of them. Plea deal on both of them. If they were involved. If they're not, then maybe the people that are involved in this will take the same advice I'm throwing out there for Don and Candace. Not accusing Don and Candace. I'm just giving them
whoever.
I'm trying to tell them that do the right thing. like do the right thing. You know, there was a question that we had, or I did. Well, we both did. Candace makes a statement there in that number 3 video, and she says, "I've been blamed for my best friend's death."
Yeah.
What's that all about?
Who was that?
What's that all about?
And when
She got
was
up and went in the house, and I couldn't ask, "What do you mean? You've been blamed with your own friend's death." What's that? We've already got a sister that's disappeared years ago. We've got Summer gone. Now she says she's accused of her, blamed in her best friend's death. That's, to me, that's suspicious.
Yeah.
She's the one said it. I didn't say that. She did. I said I probably know as little about this case as anyone, and that's true. But you'd have to live under a rock not to have heard of Summer missing. I didn't see the point of that. Guys, I don't know. I thought everybody had heard about it till we called the police department.
Evidently, they haven't,
In
though.
another state today, a close state to Tennessee. It's in close proximity, but the dispatchers, 2 or 3 dispatchers hadn't heard of her. And the police officer we talked to had not heard of Summer Wells.
Right.
It's hard to believe. Circle of contacts was so small in that area. Mom and Dad, Grandma, the church people, a couple of neighbors maybe. He says he didn't talk a lot to his neighbors
Said he didn't know them, yeah.
or anyone else that had come by the house over the last month. Anybody that had been near that house in the last month, any of their friends that had come there for whatever reason,
Exactly.
they should be looked at hard. Somebody said there was tree cutters out there. Guys, any of you got a grandma, a mother, somebody in the family, and they say, a wife? "Oh, I'd love to have a baby, but I can't have babies. I'd love to have," and then I'm talking hypotheticals on these guys, so don't take these. But they say there was people working in the area. Could somebody been working in the area and see a little girl and say, "Oh Lord, what my wife would give to have that little baby"? Or maybe they heard Candace or Don shouting at them children, "Get over here, get in here, get." You tend to do that in the mountains, up on the side of a hill, no neighbors around, no kids get used to it. Some people call it abuse. It's just a way of communicating, but to a stranger. And it may even be mean and inhumane, but to them, they're thinking, wow, that little child shouldn't have to put up with that. I'm going to save it. I'm going to take that child home to my wife. It could happen. Anything's possible. That's why whoever turns themselves in on this, I don't know why. Don't ask me why me and Sheila keep saying that, and it's weird, but we pray about it, and we think that we don't think we're going to find Summer. When we first started this, we thought, well, we'll go out and find Summer, alive or something that proves that she's deceased. But now we're realizing we're not going to find Summer. God, we don't think that's what God's got in store. He's got in store for us to say something to somebody and for them to say, "Hey, it's been long enough. It's time that we come clean. It's time that we..." That's what we think. Now, again, who are we? Who are we?
Nobody special.
Did someone think I can give her a better life, help her out?
Possibly.
Did she get choked on candy? Was it an accident? Was maybe substances involved? Maybe Candace had done something, and maybe she didn't want to call because people would be thinking that she's accusing. Simply throwing scenarios out there, guys. Remember, no one's been ruled out. She could have fallen down those stairs.
Yeah.
We had our little boy fell downstairs one time. And I called him at the bottom of the stairs. He was playing at the top. Here he come tumbling down. And the way he landed, the way I called him, had he hit the floor, he would have broke his neck.
Yeah.
Just a good Lord, let me catch him. Listen to Candace and Don. Some of their stories don't add up. And then others do.
Yeah. That's why it's so hard.
Sometimes people... Go ahead, baby.
That's why it's so hard. That's why this is such a complicated case. It's because there's so many different things.
Sometimes their stories add up, and other times they don't. But deception is deception. Inconsistencies is the inconsistencies. Parents are the first people law enforcement looks at, rightly so, because the majority of these come back to the parents. I don't believe we can rule. We don't have to point the finger.
Right.
We don't have to accuse. We got to sometimes leave it up to their heart and their soul for the person or people to come clean on themselves. But we cannot rule. Just from what Sheila and I have seen, I'll speak for myself, but she agree if she wants to, but from what we've seen, we don't think you can rule Don and Candace out. We feel for them.
No.
We still feel sorry for them, but we can see why they're still in the mix.
Yeah.
We think the grandma should be talked to more.
Yeah.
It's not been rude to question people. It's not been rude to ask people questions, especially when it comes to a child. Throw stories or stones.
Definitely not trying to do that, guys. We're
But
just
Don
showing you
says-
what we found.
Don says that they were cleared and the case was closed that day, yet Summer disappears the next day. What does that say about CPS in that area, if that's true? What does that say with the bed still on the, with the house looking in disarray like it did
Right.
when we saw it? Now, maybe it didn't look like that when CPS was there. Could some of the things be true about the day Summer come up missing? We don't know either. We're not accusing. We were asking questions. Grandma says she took a nap, gave her some candy. Things like that don't add up. That's on video.
Yeah.
That's not us. That's Grandma that says she took a nap. That's Candace that says they planted flowers. Follow the evidence. They lost 9 children in 4 different states. Guys, 2 hours and 6 minutes. We're gonna let this is gonna be a 2 hour and 6 minute video. Y'all can
we're not
watch it,
gonna- Yeah.
or you don't have to. You can watch it in parts. You can do, again, this was going to be a live. I'm glad it wasn't, because guys, that's all I've got. Sheila, you got anything, babe?
No, we just pray continuously for little Summer Wells, that she is found, and we pray that the good Lord puts upon whoever's involved their hearts. They burden them, give them conviction so strong that they can't withstand it, and that they'll come forward and say, "Here's what happened." I truly pray for that all the time, every night. I pray for that. So, it's up to the good Lord, and I know God will reveal it in His time.
It's all in God's hands. It's all in God's hands. Guys,
Please,
ever who's responsible, do the right thing.
please come
Do
forward.
the right thing. The public will appreciate it. No matter, there's always going to be people talk bad. There's always, what's done is done.
You can't change
But
it.
you can,
So,
especially if she's alive, it would be great to find her and bring her home. Do the right thing, like Sheila
That's
said.
all we can
That's
say,
do the
yeah.
right thing,
please.
and it's up to you. There's no doubt. Ever who done this, as of right now, has got away with it. And again, just like that Billy Graham song, "Just As I Am," and just listen to that song. God's knocking at your heart. God is dealing with you. That's why the people that done this is probably not very happy in life. They're
No,
probably not.
miserable.
They have got no peace.
Right.
That's God. God's not going to let you probably have any peace until a wrong is made right. It cannot go back and be made right all the way that it was on June the 15th of 2021.
Right.
That's never going to happen, but you can make it right
Today.
with God
Now.
and with here on earth.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you, guys.
All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, and share, and we'll catch you on the next one. Bye. God bless.